I do radio every single Friday with one of the handicappers at our site, Steve the Big Dog Dumig. Right. I do his show. We talk about Tampa every single Friday. There are some teams, and as a handicapper, you have to recognize when the door is shut, just leave it closed. There are some teams I don't have a handle on. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are one of those teams. So I can see your point. I wish I was getting an extra half point here at 3.5 rather than 3. But you like Tampa. God bless you. It's your birthday. You can have the winner. Hey, thanks for giving us the call there. And that was Dan in Port Charlotte, Florida. As you know, Pick Nation Report. We are here every single Sunday breaking down all your games. Listen, if you missed any portion of the first 20 minutes of today's show, or if you happen to be watching on Fox Sports, where we are only on for the first 30 minutes, remember, you can go to picknation.com. You can watch the show in its entirety anytime. picknation.com. Back to the phone we go to Mike, who is giving us a call from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. How you doing, Mike?
Hey, good, guys. How you doing?
Good. Who do you want to talk about today?
I wanted to talk about the Browns-Jaguars. What's your guys' thoughts on this game? Who do you like? I kind of like the way the Browns have been playing, but I don't know if they're ready to get it done on the road. What do you think?
Do you think the Browns have a letdown after coming back and tying the Jets with that last great drive after really it being, ineffective the entire second half and then losing the way they did in overtime in the closing seconds? Can they get up for this game, especially when you got a Jacksonville team that won on the same way the Browns lost in such a disappointing fashion? You had Jacksonville at the other end of the spectrum on a Hail Mary pass, wins on the left final play against Houston at home.
Well, even like some handicappers will say, it's better to be lucky than good sometimes. Cleveland, the thing I look at this game, and I think people give the Jets too much credit in general. I'm very, anti-Jets as far as in the talent department.
I've noticed that.
Yeah. I mean, I love the Jets. I'm a fan, but I'm not fooled by them. So when the Jets, beat Cleveland, everyone says, well, the Jets, they should beat Cleveland. They're a better team than them. No, they're not. And I think that in that game, Cleveland showed me a lot by losing to the Jets. It showed me they're not as good as I really thought they were. And I in here, Jacksonville, virtual pick 'em at home. I think you got to strongly consider laying that one, and taking the home team here.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the public perception of Cleveland is skewed because they see that they beat New Orleans. Well, they only beat New Orleans because Drew Brees threw 3 interceptions that led to points. I think they only beat New England because the Patriots were caught in a sandwich situation and they got caught looking ahead to last Sunday's game at Pittsburgh. And can you blame them? And as you said, I mean, the Jets didn't play that well, and yet the Browns were they were impotent in the second half offensively. I mean, except for that final drive, I just don't see how, even though this Jacksonville team, not much was expected of it this year. Jack Del Rio's job was on the line, but suddenly this team hits the midway point. I think they're 5-3. I mean, the possibility of the playoffs, it's not out of the realm of possibilities because I think this is an easy win. I don't understand this line, and you tell me as a former bookmaker, as a handicapper for 25 years, I don't understand how Jacksonville, other than the public perception.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. The key is that the bookmakers don't care if they're 6 points off the final score. All they want to do is gauge public perception. They know that the feelings about Cleveland are high right now, and they're false, and they're taking advantage of it.
So who did you like now? Do you like Jacksonville or do you like the Browns in this one?
Or do we just completely confuse you altogether?
No, you guys, I tell you what, you sold me on the Jags because I got to say I was leaning towards Cleveland, but I really like everything that you said. I like what I hear, and it makes perfect sense to me. So you guys got me leaning Jags now. I really appreciate it.
I'm going to have to go back and listen to the tape. I'm really not sure what I said. But
believe me, and if the Browns win by 17, you drank the Kool-Aid. We didn't force you to drink the Kool-Aid,
and
okay?
It's an interesting point you make, Alan. And now's a good time to talk about it because we do these shows, and we're willing to give out our opinions on every single game. But as gamblers, when we turn to actually start betting, and on a day like today, we're not gonna bet every game on the board, even if we have an opinion on every game on the board. And that's why when you give those stats in the beginning about the underdogs compared to the favorites, hey, listen, there's going to be a favorite and there's going to be an underdog that win every week regardless, at least one. You just find that one and you've done everything you're supposed to do. And for us, we give away all these opinions, but it's our best bets that really count, and you shouldn't just go by what we say on the show. If you don't want to pay for it the first time, get the free all-access pass. Find out what our best bets are. Those are the ones that we're riding on. Those are the ones that you should be riding on too.
As I always tell people, I have an opinion on every single game. I'm only betting maybe 1 or 2 of them. Right. And listen, 5 favorites covered last week. That was it. You had one of them on Sunday with the Jets. You had one of your crews came with Philadelphia. I had Philadelphia as my second biggest play on Monday night. Another favorite. Again, I don't care about all the dogs that covered. I was on that favorite. You were on the favorite. That's all that mattered. Remember, again, if you are watching this on FoxSports.com or in Las Vegas on TV, where we only air the first 30 minutes of the program, remember, you can catch the final 30 minutes or watch any portion of the first half hour again on PickNation.com. It's up there 24/7 for your convenience. And as Steve just alluded to, remember, you can take advantage of the free one-day all-access trial pass where you get my plays, Steve's top crew play for today, all the plays of all 13 handicappers for free, no strings attached, $500-$600 value, guys, for free just by going to PickNation.com. And also, let me also tell you, guys, if you're interested, that is Steve's book, #1 bestseller on Amazon in its category 3 years ago when it was released, Bets, Drugs, and Rock and Roll. If you'd like a free copy of Steve's book, an autographed free copy from the birthday boy, included.
And by the way, the total on the birthday line is 39.5. We're not going to say how old I am till you have to watch the second half of the show. We'll mention on the second half of the show. We get your bets down right now, and just so you know, I'm looking at the early tallies. I got the over a -120 favorite, so that's just how it's looking right now.
Hey guys, listen, you want a copy of Steve's book, and it also has a money-saving coupon for a future purchase at PickNation.com. Just go to the website, PickNation.com, click on Customer Service or the Contact Us link. It's one and the same. Send us an email requesting the book, and make sure you send us your name and address, guys. We'll ship it to you immediately, but we can't do it unless you send us the address. You'd be surprised how many of you out there don't pay attention to that.
Right, and one out of every 100 people that order a book, I show up out on their doorstep myself and deliver the book. So they got that to look forward to. I'll be in my nice blue suit, so they'll recognize me.
I noticed you never wear Jets green, but you wear this royal blue.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm at a wedding reception
today.
Well,
thank you. It's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me, I got to be honest.
Hey, again, let's go back to the phones real quick in the final 2 minutes here of the first half hour. We've got Troy calling us from Charlotte. How you doing, Troy?
Great. How are you guys doing today?
Good, Troy.
Question for you. Just how bad are my Carolina Panthers, and when do you think they're going to fire John Fox?
Well, Carolina, I said it last week, they're really only bad at two things, offense and defense. But what they're good at, and what they're really good at, is losing by double digits. So I think that in this spot, you look to play to their strength. And with Baltimore laying 10, I think they get the double-digit win, just on schedule. And that's how I feel about Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, look, 7 of their 8 losses this year have come by double-digit margins. So, they certainly are consistent. That's what you expect from a team that ranks last in the NFL in offense. They're averaging 11.6 points per game. And if I'm Ray Lewis, I've had dreams this week of what it's going to be like to go through that injury-riddled Carolina offensive line and get to Jimmy Clausen at quarterback. I mean, and let's face it, Baltimore coming off that.
Yeah, normally they may be in a look-ahead situation here, but coming off a loss, they're going to be refocused.
And they have an extra 3 days of prep time because that was a Thursday. And boy, the same way everybody was moaning and groaning about having to play on a short week on Thursday night, these guys love having the extra 2-3 days, especially in the second half of the season. So I say, again, you have to go ahead and lay it with Baltimore. And keep in mind, John Harbaugh, since he arrived in Baltimore, 13-0 straight up and 11-2 ATS. As a non-division favorite. In other words, outside of games in their division. I mean, that's near perfection. 13-0 and 11-2 ATS. Lay the double digits. If Baltimore, if they don't win this way 17 or more, I'd be stunned.
I agree with that.
Okay, guys, that's going to wrap up the first half hour of today's program. Remember, you can catch half hour number 2 over on PickNation.com if you happen to be watching us on Fox Sports or on Las Vegas TV. Al DeMarco here along with Steve Budin, and we'll be joining you every Sunday with the Pick Nation Report.